I see with all the equipment, I don't know if this one that we trying to go for broadcasting with. If not, then I definitely point you to you got one on there I like. I think it's called is it called So Amazing or something, man? But it's it's cool. You got the playlist. You got the playlist. DJ Newkirk, bro.
With you, how you move, slip and slide, no pressure. Dedicated to the old school. Been real with you.
You put the list up, man. I definitely let you know, man. This is Ask Mathis on Strong Arm Radio coming to you. It's on the I did not. I did
Check
not.
out. I sent you a link.
It's on the
Apple. Go to Apple.
It's on the promo for today. For the promo for today, it shows the
Apple link.
Shows a new project. JT Money, 30 years in the game. That OG. And it's like about in the middle of there, man. He got some. Definitely, if you like JT Money, Poison Clan. Well, I ain't gonna say Poison Clan because it's not a lot of up tempo Poison Clan type stuff in there, but it's definitely. If you into JT Money giving you what you're looking for. Definitely the G era. So if you like Warren G, Snoop Dogg, Dog Pound, you definitely gonna feel this OG puts you in that vibe, so to speak, man. So okay, but I guess we off. So, we full. We riding then. We riding.
Yeah, that was that's okay.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay. So listen, what time is JT coming on? So,
2:20.
Okay, 2:20. Cool. So, been telling you guys about this book, Cast: The Origins of Our Discontents, by Isabel Wilkerson. Been telling you guys about that particular book. And about the different individuals who were spotlighted, in the story, including Satchel Paige and a young Martin Luther King. So I just want to read a little excerpt from her book about when Martin Luther King actually went to India back in the winter of 1959. And wanted to get with the untouchables. And anybody that's ever taken anthropology, when you get to India and you begin to discuss the caste system, they tell you about the untouchables. And you're like, huh? What do you mean the untouchables? And so you learn that the untouchables were the people on the lowest level of Indian culture. Mm-hmm. They were the ones that buried the dead. They're the ones that, would, pick up cattle because, anybody knows anything about India and, their religion, the cow is a sacred animal. And when I went to India, it's the truth. And what I mean by that is you can be on a highway. You could be on just a regular road like Biscayne Boulevard, just like 285 in Atlanta. You can be on, Pacific Coast Highway out in L.A., the Autobahn in just name the thoroughfare. And you just got cows, bruh, just moseying along. They're given free reign in the Hindu religion. In the Hindu religion, the cow is sacred. So they just, it's crazy, man. Like, you just literally riding down the street and then it's a cow just walk, just moseying along, bruh. And you can't touch it. You can't do anything. It's the ultimate deference. And when they die, these are the folks who, bury the dead and whatnot. So it says that Dr. King had read about them, and he wanted to go meet them for himself when he went at the invitation of Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru, Nehru being the first prime minister. So it says he discovered that people in India had been following the trials of his own oppressed people in America, knew of the bus boycott he had led. Wherever he went, the people on the streets of Bombay and Delhi crowded around him for an autograph. One afternoon, King and his wife journeyed to the southern tip of the country to the city of Trivandrum in the state of Kerala and visited with high school students whose families had been untouchables. The principal made the introduction. Young people, he said, I would like to present you a fellow untouchable from the United States of America. So this is Dr. King calling himself an untouchable. King was floored. He had not expected that term to be applied to him. Wow. The principal in his introduction referred to Dr. King as an untouchable. He was in fact put off by it at first. He had flown in from another continent, had dined with the prime minister. He did not see the connection, did not see what the Indian caste system had to do directly with him, did not immediately see why the lowest caste people in India would view him, an American Negro, and a distinguished visitor as low caste like themselves. See him as one of them. For a moment, he wrote, I was a bit shocked and peeved that I would be referred to as an untouchable. Then he began to think about the reality of the lives of the people he was fighting for. 20 million people consigned to the lowest rank in America for centuries, still smothering in an airtight cage of poverty, quarantined in isolated ghettos, exiled in their own country. And he said to himself, yes, I am an untouchable, and every Negro in the United States of America is an untouchable. In that moment, he realized that the land of the free had imposed a caste system not unlike the caste system of India, and that he had lived under the system all his life. It was what lay beneath the forces he was fighting in America. So again, that's an excerpt from the book Caste, The Origins of Our Discontents by Isabel Wilkerson. And, I hope everybody get a chance to, to check that out just to see what's going on, because as they always tell you, if you don't know your history, you're bound to repeat it. You're bound to repeat what's going on. And, I don't know if you got an opportunity, Teddy, to see 60 Minutes yesterday, the interview of Bob Woodward. And so Bob Woodward gave supposedly his only interview to Bob Seifert on CBS doing 60 Minutes, talking about, the 18 hours of phone calls and tapes that he had on the president, starting way back in 2019, when the biggest crisis at that time, when they started, was the drawdown of troops, and just they didn't even think it was going to be talking about this. And there was a lot of stuff about North Korea and the love letters between Kim Jong-un and President Trump. Kim referring to the president as His Excellency, and this talking like you talk to a babe, man, in a long distance relationship. And one thing that we always talk about here on Ask Mathis is that they know how to get to him. They know what he like to hear. You butter him up. And the more dude is buttering him up, the more he takes it as, okay, you like me, I like you. You don't like me, I don't like you. It's as simple as that with this president. Everything makes sense if you look at it under that lens. Under that lens. And, whether you're talking to his niece, Mary Trump, who's a clinical psychiatrist, and her book, basically coming in and showing how, how he came up and how he was made, to Michael Cohen's book, to Bob Woodward's book, it all comes out. It makes sense that you're dealing with somebody who, if you go in there and tell him what he wants to hear, then he's gonna most likely listen to you. You come against him, then he's gonna fight you hard. He's gonna fight you tooth and nail. So knowing that, the issue is, what are you gonna do now? What are you gonna do now? Because I tell you, one thing you don't want to do is get caught up in this circular firing squad that's going on right now, because Kamala Harris, the Democratic vice presidential nominee, she was in South Florida this past Thursday. Remember, I was saying on my way to the station, I saw this motorcade, and I was like, oh wow, that's big time. That's either the president or somebody that's coming, based on motorcades that I've seen before, and it turned out it was the vice president. So she made some stops. She went to a Venezuelan restaurant in Doral called Amaze, and got some backlash from that. Going to the restaurant, the owner or the chairman of the board, he came out basically saying like they didn't contact them, they didn't ask for permission, they don't to go to the restaurant, because on their social media the people just came out just going nuts. Right. Just basically saying they want to boycott, just like with the Goya Foods. They want to boycott Amaze because they're saying that they hosted, Kamala Harris. The lady just went in there to get something to eat. Mm-hmm. Now, she came in there with her squad, but she just wanted to and she got the food to go, and she just spoke to a couple people. A lot of folks in the restaurant were taking photographs and selfies with her, and then she cleared it. So she got a little backlash from the Venezuelan community and the other members of the cult, the Trumpists, going off on this particular restaurant. But then she went to Miami Gardens and met with, officials in Miami Gardens. And so now you have the Haitian community and my Zoes out there saying that, and what's crazy, it made the paper. Like, it made the paper today. It says Haitians feel overlooked by the Biden campaign. And this is written by my girl, Jackie Charles. I've known Jackie Charles for, since I was in law school, as a matter of fact. And so she is the chief person that's in there, man. And it happens every time, bro. It's why I'm not a Democrat. That's why I'm not a Democrat, because I watch how the Democrats cannot stay out of their own way. They can't stay out of their own way. Instead of being focused on removing the worst president in history, they coming in there saying like, oh, why she didn't come by Chef Creole? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Why she had a secret meeting with Monestein. Why didn't she meet with this person? Why didn't she meet with, man, it's a long time before November 3rd. And Florida right now is the epicenter. It is ground zero of what's going to happen in this election. We just spoke on Friday about how it is a virtual tie in Miami with the Hispanic community. Hillary Clinton won the Latinos in 2016 by like 16 points. So, he can't give up any kind of votes. The only good thing, I guess, is that he's gained about 9 points with the seniors, because of the whole thing about Social Security. They don't want the Social Security touch, and the COVID. Mm-hmm. My mom has not left my crib, bro. My mother has not gone outside. Yes, she did. She went in the backyard one time. She went in the backyard one time, bro. But other than that, bro, she is not, breathe fresh air, bro, during this time. Like, don't forget about our seniors. Don't forget about the seniors. And the seniors are definitely saying, like, this man is literally killing us. This man is literally killing us. Tell me another year that you've seen so many people die 2020, regardless if it was COVID or what have you. Just I've never seen this many people die in 1 year, bruh, in 2020. And the fact that, this guy comes and lies every day. He comes and lies all day, every day, and it doesn't change any votes. Doesn't change any of the votes. Now you don't come out. Herman Cain done died. My Morehouse brother done died. Going to this Tulsa rally. Going to this Tulsa rally. The man ends up dead. I have not heard at one of the rallies a moment of silence for Herman Cain. I haven't heard that. I haven't seen it. And if I'm wrong, y'all please let me know and see if this thing has happened. But this man literally, gave his life for the cause. Mr. 999 gave his life for the cause, and Trump keep it moving. Like he keeping it moving. Just like that. And now you would think, okay, maybe in February everybody didn't have all the information. Maybe March everybody didn't have all the information. But by April, everybody had the information that this was an airborne virus, and this airborne virus can be somewhat thwarted by wearing a mask. So now that that's out there, why is it that in South Dakota and North Dakota you got the latest spike? Because in North and South Dakota, they never imposed any kind of mask order, and they just hosted over 300,000 bikers in South Dakota, and they starting to die. Those people are starting to die right now. So knowing all that particular information,
All those bikers that went up?
the bikers, now they're spikes. Some of the people, are starting to be infected. There's been deaths, starting to occur, because remember, the gestation period, you have to give it 2 weeks. 2 weeks for it to manifest. So knowing all those things, why did this guy have a rally in Nevada yesterday against, and this the whole thing about the law that we was talking about with the appointment of Judge Francis. The governor has imposed an order in Nevada that you cannot hold any events with more than 50 people. And yesterday, he had a straight up rally indoors, no social distancing. Most of the people who was out in the crowd were not wearing masks. But guess what he did, Teddy? The ones who was on the stage behind him, guess what they was wearing?
Mask.
Masks.
Okay.
Masks to make sure he good.
Yeah, he was good. Yeah.
Masks to make sure he's good. But all y'all, whatever, y'all get what you get. That is not leadership, bruh. Like that is not leadership, man. In this whole cult situation, bruh, we talk about, man, do you remember talking about Obama like this? We weren't talking about this man every day.
But according to him and other people, that he was one of the worst presidents, even though Obama wasn't.
Nah, it wasn't no other people. That's according to him and his lawyer, Michael Cohen, in his new book, lets you know, his new book, Disloyal. Y'all check that out, by Michael Cohen, called Disloyal. And in his book, he tells you the only problem that he has with Barack Obama is that Barack Obama is black. And this guy is so obsessed with President Obama that he hired an Obama lookalike just so that he could do a little skit and say, "You're fired."
Really?
Like, that's how petty the dude has the nuclear codes is, bruh. That's how petty he is, bruh. The hire a lookalike just so you can go off on him and say you're fired. Like, that's what we have, in the office, man. That's what it is. And it's unfortunate that there's not a single vote that's changed. No matter, you talk about the military. you're the commander in chief. You got people, especially with 9/11 happening on Thursday, and everybody looking at, 9/11 and reminiscing 19 years of 9/11, and you seeing people who, once those towers fell, they went and joined the army. They went and joined the Marines. They went and joined the military. Just because it was like, yo, y'all bringing that over, y'all done bought that over here, we're going to take it over there. We're going to come in. And even Bush, with all the people who weren't feeling Bush, when Bush went to New York and he was at ground zero and he was looking at the destruction that happened, and you had somebody from the crowd said something to Bush, Bush stood there, George W. Bush, and he was like, yeah, we feeling this right now, but they about to feel it. And everybody, I felt that. Everybody came together. There was that period of unity that we just missing and we lacking right now. And we need somebody that's going to come in and try to bring people together. We don't need anybody that's coming in. I think that whole thing about defunding the police, I think that's off the mark. I think it needs to be re-educate the police, transfer certain resources to, other places, to more mental health professionals coming out to mental health issues like what happened in Rochester, New York. That brother was out there in the snow, butt naked. Somebody out in the snow, butt naked. There's a mental issue that's going on. Instead, these officers sit this man on his bare behind in the middle of the road while it's snowing, and then put what's called a spit hood over his head, where just make this guy go even more nuts and more crazy. And to think they not even sensing and feeling that this guy has a mental issue. They're not even, the humanity wasn't even there. Yeah, I mean, that's just a total lack of humanity. And then when you go and you look and see what just happened over the weekend outside of Atlanta, where these two officers, just beating this dude on the ground. He bleeding all out of his face. And he's the passenger of a lift. Yeah, he's the passenger of a lift. So if the officers stop the lift because the lift has improper equipment, it's already been determined that without reasonable suspicion or any type of evidence that a crime has been committed by the passengers or any of these particular people, there is no reason to request this person's identification. There's no reason to request the identification. You're not the driver.
Nope. You're
not coming in there. It's when you walk up to the car, and when the windows come down, if a whole bunch of smoke come out, then that's different. But you come in there and the driver doesn't have their identification. You say, well, you know what? Y'all don't want to, provide y'all identification. All right, cool. This guy is going to jail. This car is not moving. Y'all get to walking.
Get another lift.
Y'all get to walking, or y'all call somebody else. But to escalate to that particular point, just lets you know that these folks are killing us or injuring us, knowing that the cameras are running now. Like, that's the crazy thing that we saw with George Floyd. This officer clearly knew he was being recorded, put his hand in his pocket, looked straight in the camera, like, look at me. Look at me. Yeah, what can you do about it? I'm the police. I'm the police. You come around here, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to shoot you. What you going to do?
That's basically what they're saying. They basically blatantly telling you can't do nothing about what I'm doing.
And not to justify in any way what happened in Compton, but understand that there are consequences and repercussions for what's going on, because people have mental issues. People have anger issues. People have other issues that's going on, and you so frustrated out there. And if you ever go on any of the controversial sites, what I say by controversial sites, I mean people who are on the front line, whether it's Sean King, whether it's Mallory, whether it's, Breitbart, whether it's anybody, and I mean on the left and on the right. If you go to anybody who has what's considered a controversial site, the comments, bro, they off the chain. Like the comments be It'd be about shooting and death. It'd be like, man, awful cop. The only good cop is a dead cop. It's like, man, where's this stuff coming from? Like, that's crazy. We need to tamp this thing down. And those few people that's out there tripping like that, you know, they can't have an audience. Because if somebody robbed me or somebody come, you know, breaking into my house or doing something like that, I'm calling the police. I'm calling the police. I'm not calling no vigilante force. I'm not calling, you know, Ice-T from Ricochet, you know, get his boys together and let's go out here and do it. No, I'm calling the police. So we cannot let them take the argument away from us that we cannot call the police and that the police aren't our friend. No, that's not what it is. You can have good policing, and most police are excellent, great police. It's just having to deal with the systemic racism that's embedded in the police. And one thing we need to do is eliminate qualified immunity, because these people are not being held accountable. I just saw a story of a 79-year-old man in Georgia. We saw what happened with Breonna Taylor. Breonna Taylor didn't make it out. But this 79-year-old black guy in Georgia, same thing that happened to Breonna Taylor, is the people got the wrong address using a GPS to get to his crib. And anybody that's ever been to Georgia, especially like South Georgia, you see that there's some areas in South Georgia, man, that the streets aren't really streets. They still clay streets and clay roads. So imagine GPS trying to work for, you know, to find some of these houses in Georgia. So they had the body cam from these officers, the jump out boys. They passed the house they supposed to go to end up going to this one house where the old black man is in there by himself in the house. They come in there, the man almost has a heart attack. He sues, and of course, qualified immunity, his case gets dismissed. Because all the officers got to do is say they was acting in the course and scope of what was going on. So he could have died. He could have had a heart attack. He could have done all those things, and all the officers got to say, "Oop, my bad. You know, GPS was wrong. GPS got it wrong today." You know, and that's what ends up happening. You know, so this whole thing about qualified immunity, if you're not going to eliminate qualified immunity, then you definitely need to eliminate this whole no-knock warrant. Because the no-knock warrant, there has to be consequences and repercussions when you get it wrong. When the police officers get it wrong and they come in there and they end up killing a Breonna Taylor who's sleeping in her bed, they, you know, getting the wrong address. Or this older man in Georgia, fortunately, he survived it, but there's no legal recourse. No legal recourse because of qualified immunity. You know, and it needs to change. Mm-hmm. Definitely needs to change. We waiting on JT. We getting them queued up. As we get JT money queued up, one thing for our students in Miami-Dade County, I want to put out there is on starting this Saturday, there'll be free 30-minute tutorings, and that's one-on-one virtual tutoring for K through 12 in reading and in math, as well as ACT and SAT prep, using certified teachers. The only thing they're asking for is not required, but they are asking parents that your children at least get a library card. At least get a library card. Is what they requesting. At least get a library card. And it's going to be every Saturday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Those are the slots. And it's 30-minute slots. One-on-one tutorial. Virtual. Students, parents. Y'all make sure y'all check that out. Saturdays 9 to 1 or 1:30 to 2:30. It's 30-minute slots. And you can get more information at www.mdpls.org/tutor/tutoring.asp. So y'all go on the Miami-Dade public library system, you know, for that tutorial, man. And it's free, you know, and it's free, parents. It's free. So y'all make sure that, you know, your students, man. And it's not just, you know, little bit of, you know, itty-bitty classes. Like, they got calculus, they got trig, they got pre-algebra. So don't think, you know, please take advantage. Please take advantage. because it's there, and it's given by actual certified teachers. So it's not just some college kid that's in there tutoring. It's the real deal. So, we got to do what we got to do. How we looking, DJ? Newkirk? Okay. Okay, that's what it is. So while we doing that, let me do this one little story about cabbage, man. So we always been talking about this PP payroll protection and what was going on there, man, and why people not getting bread. There's one company out of Atlanta called Cabbage with a K, Kabbage. They got between $330 and $340 million just in fees, their own fees that they got. Issuing over $7 billion in loans, in PP payroll protection loans, over $7 billion. One example is a construction company that got incorporated in May, got funded in June. Sarouj Latchman LLC, construction company, supposedly had 53 employees. They got $1 million for a company that wasn't even in existence for over a month. Got $1 million. Had defaulted on previous SBA loans, as well as had two of the principals had filed several bankruptcies. They weren't even supposed to be eligible, but this company, Cabbage, was just processing the loan because they get fees, and the most fees they get are for loans under $350,000. They get the most fees, and the loans for $350,000 weren't getting the scrutiny from the SBA. They was only scrutinizing the loans of over $1 million. So you got folks, that I know of, man, that's around here struggling, where 10 bands will help, 20 bands, 30 bands will help and bring folks back. You got folks that's just straight up rigging the system, gaming the system, no recourse, and all these black businesses are not coming back. And we got, folks like this, and, Josh Bellamy, who just got released by the New York Jets, from the crib. $1.25 million for his company, Drip Entertainment LLC. Spent over $100,000 in jewelry. $53,000 wire to this company. Another spent $63,000 at the Hard Rock. The other day, and he was part of a scheme allegedly totaling $24 million. That they was able to gain from the system. Because of the lack of oversight and not getting it. I understand they were trying to balance the whole notion of getting the money out quickly, but they weren't doing the oversight. And too many businesses, man, that's been around 10, 15, 20 years, can't get $3,000. And these folks, man, getting millions of dollars. It just shows that there really are two Americas. There really are two Americas, man. That people talk about. Jacob Blake's dad, constantly says that. He says it funny, but think about it. He's like, man, I got my turn signal on, man. I'm trying to get into that white lane. I'm trying to get me some of that white justice, because this thing is nuts, man. So, all right, man, y'all. So we appreciate y'all rocking, man. Coming, to Ask Mathis, man, is the birthday boy himself. Brother JT Money. What's good, sir? These folks, man, getting millions of dollars. It just shows that there really are.
Hold on 1 second, JT.
There really are two Americas, man. Oh, man.
No, you good. Hold on 1 second.
He says it's funny, but
I can hear you.
He's like, man, I got my
Just want to make sure we got you all the way through.
I'm trying to get into that white lane. I'm trying to get me some of that white justice.
All right, you trying to turn up
Because this thing.
Yeah.
All right, man, y'all. So we appreciate y'all rocking, man. Coming, to Ask Mathis, man. JT, what it do? Birthday boy himself. Brother JT Money. What's good, sir? Okay. I hear him, but he low.
Yeah, hold on 1 second.
You told me to cut off my camera.
Oh, man. Chilling, bro. I just been vibing out to that OG all day. Yeah, man. It's one thing to talk about it, bro. You know, I had to cop that, bro. I had to go straight on iTunes, man. Had to go, had to go straight on iTunes, man, and get that project, man. But I definitely, you know, caught that Warren G, G era, that G era Snoop Warren G and the Dog Pound, man. I caught a lot of that.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. OG perspective. It's really gonna be about the feeling of the music, and then you put some conversation with it, and we get back to where we feel good. Well,
Yeah.
that's what I was trying to do.
No, definitely, bro. You certainly did it well, man. And just going through some of the records, man, that already got some of my favorites already. I see you got one. It's an
I
old.
love that, man. I love that.
I call it a old to the crack game.
Okay. Let me think. No, I got to hear which one you talking about.
Oh man, well you basically talking about how you whipping it up, kind of how D'Angelo did with the brown sugar. You did it with the white girl.
Damn. That's not life decision.
No.
Life
It's
decision.
I'll just listen
No
to it,
pressure.
man, because you was talking about in the cop whipping it up, but it always come back. That's why you love her.
Yeah, always come back. Like glass, and that. Oh, that's with you. I made.
Yeah,
like
with
the
you.
girl. I made it the woman. Baby,
Yes.
when I'm with you.
Yeah.
See, yeah, that's one of my songs.
Yeah. Cause
Go
I
ahead,
thought
brother.
you was talking about a
Yeah,
girl.
that's
I
the
thought you
first
talking
time I
about
heard
a
that one
chick.
today. Certain songs I got two, and one. The first time I heard that with you, that's one of my favorites.
Yeah,
The
man.
first verse was the rap game, and the third verse was the dope game. Cause I be like, these niggas, they just want to rap and they want to sell dope. So I made that a girl. I made it a female.
Mhm.
So I'm talking to her like, damn, baby, where the hell you been? Check.
Yes, sir. And then that
My dog.
you got that one on there.
I hope I ain't messing nothing up.
I think it's like amazing. Think it's like.
Did I hit the wrong button?
Talking about a girl. I thought you was talking about a chick.
Go to go get my headphones.
Yeah, probably, yeah. Because it might be the echo coming back from you. And that's probably
Yeah,
too good now. Yeah, if you can get the headphones, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, you got the you got the playlist on there. You got the playlist. So I don't know. I think it's called Amazing, but it's it's a record, man. Where it's
Yeah. Tell me, get the headphones if you can, JT.
you got that one on there.
You hear?
I think it's like Amazing. You got the playlist on the screen. That come around.
Oh, the music playing.
JT, you hear us, bruh?
You hear JT?
He's getting his headphones. His mic is right.
Yeah, that awesome is for the grown folks.
Grown folks music, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, tired of getting it, yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I swear.
Hey, no, bruh. So tell us about the project, bruh. Just
Yes.
how long it took you to get it together? How long you been planning it?
Man, all right. I some of those songs I've had, and I've been sitting on them, and I've been trying situations, and everybody got opinions, and they want to hold up, Jay, hold up, wait. So what I did was pull them all together, mix and master them, and I say, well, I'm finna drop it, because I've been saying to people for 2 years, 3 years, it's coming. If you notice, I didn't change 3 albums. I done went from uh Return to Bitch House and Reloaded. I done did um player something. I done forgot the name. The JT Money Impedia, like a dictionary or some shit. I done did all kind of titles. I'm like, nah, man, I'm tired of playing. This OG perspective. I just went to run, and I'm gonna bring another one back within the next 6 months. I'm gonna just keep. I've been sitting on this stuff a long time, brother. But these particular songs, man, I ain't gonna lie to you. I've been sitting on them maybe a year or so. Some of them.
And I see
the earliest one is probably like 4 months, 3 months, 6 months.
Okay, and I see Slip and Slide on
Yeah.
there. Tell us about
Or the
that. How did
latest
that
or whatever.
How did that Slip and
Might have
Slide
said that
come
wrong,
about,
but
bro?
the time is now. Yeah, okay, I'm back. I can hear myself now.
Yeah, bro. I was asking, how did the Slip and Slide connection come about? I saw a Slip and Slide is
Yeah. Yeah, but see, even that, I was doing that trying to bring the game back home, back to Miami. And, me and Ted, we put out the 2 singles, but he wasn't ready to do the album yet. And I'm like, man, I've been promising this album for 2 years, man. And, I just had to do it, still, we still find it, still my brother, but, like if I'm bringing you a JT Money album, and then you got a bunch of dudes that's younger than my kids trying to scrutinize it. They ain't even got a clue.
Yeah,
their opinions don't hold no. Like, come on, bro.
Right. No, I definitely, being a long time.
They don't know nothing. They got to grow into this. Like, come on, man. How they gonna tell me how to make a record? I understand. New times, but I'm here too.
Yeah.
I still got an opinion and a feeling.
Yeah, man.
And a voice.
That's that Cadillac dope boy music.
All right. This ain't the man, it's that. Yeah, I'm shotgun with you. I'm on your shoulder. I'm in your.
Yeah, but I did peep a couple radio singles on there, bro. Cause I know when you put the music out, you don't necessarily put it out for the radio. But I did peep a couple radio singles on there.
I'm glad you said that. We're gonna talk, cause what I did the entire album clean. See, that's coming in the next week or so. I gotta send it off. I got the entire thing clean. So now, I don't know. I'm gonna work radio. I'm gonna see what the streets like, cause everybody got an opinion.
Right.
Work this. I ain't got that budget. My budget's gonna be for the one with some legs. Put the money behind it.
And you showing right there, JT.
But I'm gonna do at least 10 of the videos. I'm gonna drop videos. I'm gonna drop them.
Yeah, bro.
And I'm working now.
Bro, I think you own to something right there, now, JT. I think you own to something right there, JT. As far as talking to the folks that came up with you, because we very grown now, but we still like what we like, and we can identify with you, and we can identify with what you're talking about. Like, we don't identify with doing a drive-by shooting when ain't no money involved.
Right.
That's what these kids is on. These kids on there shooting for blocks they don't own.
For blocks they don't own, for props, for people who don't give up. You know what I'm saying? And cats ain't gonna listen, man. Ain't nobody gonna take care of your mama or bond you out. They're gonna be like, oh well, that dude, they're a soldier.
Yeah, bro.
Put you on a t-shirt.
Hey, I had a couple songs I couldn't even play in the crib though. I'm just keeping the 1,000. But I was glad I'll get a chance to talk to you later, boy, because I was listening to this one song. But you was like, I don't know if it's love, I don't know if it's lust.
Love or lust. Think about you. Yeah, don't play that one in the house. You know exactly what I'm talking about too. Is it love? Is it lust? Think about it now. Come outside, man.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, man. We got JT Money. You know, legend, living legend, man. Still doing it. Bro, you ain't lose a step.
Appreciate it, man. Well, I'm not gonna lose. I'm still hungry, still fighting a good fight, baby.
Yes, indeed, bro.
They tell I be telling people, they be like, boy, you just keep moving. I say, man, if I stop, I might croak. I might die, man. I gotta keep it going.
Yes, indeed. Teddy
Yeah,
T,
I do
man. I
what I
know
love
Teddy.
until,
Teddy
you
set
know.
this up, so we let Teddy take this over.
You know, 30 years in the game now. You know what I mean? What's the difference between now and then? In 30 years.
Well, for me, it's just a little more freedom and the potential to make a whole lot of money. You
That's
know,
right.
the game definitely grew up, you know, but the people try to take it back from us, you know, and then dumb down our little brothers and nephews. They try to separate us from our little brothers and nephews. But the potential, I just look at the potential. Like I don't worry about the problem. I'm always looking for the solution. But the potential is so much. And they can make so much money, man. And this internet, you know, we didn't have internet 30 years ago when I started. You know, we were playing phonograph records, cassette tapes, you know, and then went to CDs, and then, you know, but the web, you know, you can put something on the web in an hour and mess around and be viral in the morning.
That's right.
So, you know, that's the game, the potential. But the business don't change though. You got to tell these dudes before. Like I tell my son them, right? They hungry, and they pretty good. They decent. I'm like, listen, player, register all your works before you put it up on the web. Don't just be throwing stuff on the internet. You know, you gonna get yours from $1, player. You know, and that's what I'm telling them. I'm teaching them that because you know, cats just want the likes and the views, and people are like, yeah, but there's many times you missing all that. You know, I even had to understand that because I was just throwing out mixtapes. And this thing, you know, they online people riding, but I'm not getting none of that money.
Do
You
you
know?
do you
And that's what I
think
know about the game today. It was structured back in the days, and now it's the wild wild west.
right?
How about that one?
Do,
Does
do
that
you
make sense?
do you think that we'll ever get back to some of that Poison Clan sound?
I know what you're talking about. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Do you think we could ever get back to some of that Poison Clan sound? You know what I'm saying? That up tempo.
That's on the way right now.
Okay.
Yeah, that's on the way right now. See, that right there was just a step in the door. You know what I'm saying? That was me stepping in the door. Now I'm finna go. Listen, I'm telling you, within 6 months, my dude telling me 3. I think 3 is too fast. But I'd say within 6, it'll be the next one. You know, and again, I'm gonna give you the Poison Clan stuff, but I plan on redoing a lot of those classics.
That's
you
right.
know, I'm going after the I Want Action, the I Hate Hoes, the Waking Up Every Morning. I'm going to get those records. The Fire That's Phone, the Shine Me Up, the shit. I'm going to get them. I'm gonna redo them. You know, I'm gonna update them. You know, yeah, man, we finna rock, man. It's a new day, new era, new money.
What's that record? What's the name of the record, man? Where he talks about all the old school classics, the Curtis Mayfield and the Curtis Mayfield and you know, where he's just basically going through
Dedicated to the old school.
dedicated to the old school, man. That dedicated to the old school. And then you got another one, man, with that M. Tume Juicy Fruit beat.
I don't think you heard the 32.
Yeah, but that's dedicated to the old school.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that dedicated to the old school, JT.
Thank you. I call that me giving them their flowers while they still alive, while some of them still alive, you know? And just recognizing where it come from. Like, we got so much game from those players and players back in the day, you know, why not give back to them? You know, or recognize them.
Yeah, did you check out that Versus last night?
I did not see it. I seen it was coming, but you know, happy birthday, JT Money. You know they had me out, baby.
Oh yeah. We know how you do it. We know how you do it.
Yeah, man. I was doing good thing. But, hey, Patty and let Gladys know I love them both, though.
Hey,
How was it, though?
hey, bro. You know, it was. It kind of reminded me of Mother's Day.
Mother's Day.
Had that Mother's Day vibe. That Mother's Day vibe. You know, it was a lot of love, and you like to see that. You
Right.
know.
Check. Right. All right, enough of that one. Check.
Definitely, bro. But I like that other one. You got an M2 made Juicy Fruit beat on one too.
Yeah, that's the with you. Baby, that's the one dedicated this one to that white girl. Gang.
So what do you so when you talk about that game, and I know you say you can't rap and be a dope boy. Well, at least that's what I thought I heard.
Yeah, well, I say that's all they want to do. I say niggas want to rap, and I say I'm dope. That's all they want to do, you know. Ain't nobody trying to get nothing else seem like. I'm trying to motivate them, show them something, you know. But picture me talking. I've been rapping for 30 years. You know what I'm saying? And when the rap game slow, I might have given and dabbled.
That's it. Hey.
You know, I was just chill, so, but at least I ain't gonna give them all the good. I'm gonna give you the bad too now. They can't know you inside. Might catch a case. It's about being safe. It ain't about race. I'm talking to that white girl now.
Right.
Hey, listen, baby, you. Yeah, man. They're gonna hear a little. As long as y'all give it to them, eventually they're gonna hear it.
And what do you say to
JT
these?
Money music, cats hear stuff 3 years later. Man, I ain't know you said. I'll be like, yeah, keep listening.
So JT Money, man, what do you do with the jits as far as do you step into a session here and there? Do you mentor any of the jits, or you just how you?
I try to give them everything I got. Those who approach me and you know, you can't do everybody, but I see certain cats moving and working, so I try to help them. But then you have some cats moving and working, and they get a little bit of fame, and you know, again, everybody got opinions. They don't hear you yet, but they always come back around. But you know, I just share, you know. But I got a few young soldiers that I like between this Tampa Bay area and Miami that I'm just putting myself into, you know, and they'll be coming up, and I'm gonna give it to them. I'm gonna do it for them.
Do you have a
relationship? The next young generation.
Do you have a relationship? Do you have a relationship with Plies? Because you would just, to me, it just seems like Plies sounds so much like you and carries itself so much like you. Have you ever, you know, crossed paths with him?
I met the dude after 10, 20 years, however long he been out finally. And you know, I was like, well, damn, nigga, why it took me so long to see you? Like, you hiding from me, player? Right? But you know, after speaking to him, the dude, he was cool, real cool. Like, I actually saw him at the club, Miami Night, one time, you know. But, you know, you get a nigga number, and then they pick up, and then they don't pick up no more. So I don't know how that go, you know. I'm just used to rap niggas being that way, but probably when I see him, he cool.
Right.
You know, I ain't get a chance to call him my little brother yet, or my son.
Right.
The rappers.
Yeah.
I like doing that to rappers. Yeah, okay, nephew.
No, cause I just remember like Billy Blue and Juvenile, you know, and they little situation, and then Blue put it in a record. You know, he was like one of my idols. I finally got to meet him, but realized he ended up being one of the biggest captains. He had to lay hands on him. You know, that's I thought that was
Billy Blue?
Yeah.
The game was that real. So that means Junior was on that shit. The Billy Blue's a player, man.
Yeah, definitely. And you know,
and I like you, but I mean, he was on that shit. So for Blue to say that and do that,
yeah, hey, cause Blue looked up to him. Blue looked up to him.
It's insane.
And when he came down here at the crib, he came down here to the crib, and Blue was like, "It's all love." And Juvie was like, "Man, you owe me a check. You done stole my whole style."
Wow. Mm-hmm. Yeah, rap dudes, man.
That's it.
Rap dudes.
That's it.
I don't know.
So, man, over this journey, bro, you feel like sharing, man, some of your biggest ups, man, in this journey, you know, as far as rocking certain crowds or rocking certain places that you ain't think you would ever get to, or how's it been good to you?
One of the biggest for me was, I would say, all right, I went to Japan and was too loud way back in the days. But to go back on my own, Japan, Italy, and Germany on the JT money strength, that was big for me. But when I go to certain markets where you're not expecting to see, you expect to see a couple people, 1,000 people or something, but then you see 10 to 20,000 out there, they all singing word for word. Like, that's probably my drug. That's my dope right there.
Wow.
Showtime. I'm most happiest on the stage and in the studio. I like to create. I love to create. I love that part of the game. And showtime, man. I'm real happy to be there. And some things I look forward to is when they don't know me.
And who was your biggest influences, JT? How did you get into the rap game?
Well, my influences. All right. See, you gotta go. I gotta take you before Ice Cube and Scarface, because that was my boy.
Big Daddy Kane.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, right. You gotta go with the Big Daddy Kane, the Rakim, the Cool G Rap, the LL Cool J. And they gotta mix some Chuck D and BDP in there, because I wasn't just a dummy. The black, I got that. And I wasn't no dummy. But this is my influences, and everything of the era. Go ahead, I missed that. Say it again.
No, that was
your phone froze up. Can you repeat your influences?
I ain't hear you.
No, can you repeat the influences that you were saying your phone was breaking up?
Oh, okay. Well, before, right. It's gonna be before my Ice Cube and my Scarf Daddy Kane, OJ, some BDP, Chuck D, some Cool G Rap. This is all the stuff I grew up listening to. Right. That made the JT money. Like, when I came out, I wasn't rapping like everybody else at the crib.
That's right.
I was hanging with the New York cats, but I was letting them know, down here we got it too, player.
That Brooklyn thing in New Orleans.
Thinking everybody on booty shake.
That was that Brooklyn New Orleans game.
I heard when he hooked us up, or not hooked us up, but when he caught up with us, because we was already a team, me and Dale. But them my influences as far as just the rap game. I go back to, I'm up to Shoe B, I'm talking about way back then as a shorty.
Yeah. JT, I want to say, can you hear me? JT?
Yes.
I want to say, like, my first time ever meeting you was at Hot Wheels. I was with my man, we had a show, Eminem, and we was out there performing, and we had got too close to the stage, and they pulled us off and everything. And as soon as we got back there, it was like the first thing you said was like, bruh, y'all gotta give yourself 2 feet before you get on the stage. We had to learn that, when we started too. You know what I'm saying? And it was so crazy because just your mystique and your personality, I thought y'all was gonna be like, man, y'all pussy ass nigga, la 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 la. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that you just automatically just met us like that game, you know what I mean? That's what made me always have so much respect for you, because you was JT Money. Like, that was like 1990, you know what I'm saying? So I know you was feeling yourself. But
see, that's what I'm saying. It's stuff like that. We don't get that kind of love and game. Like, I know what people think or look or feel about it because they don't know. Mm-hmm. And I like that too. Allow me to introduce myself.
Right.
But I'm naturally, I'm love first. It's a mutual. It's respect first before the foolishness. Yeah, I was young and I did stuff out of adolescence, but for that sound naturally like me. If I see some young dudes, I'm like, hey, player, y'all gotta. If I could just share that little bit of game,
and then
if I could help that, yeah.
And then I want
to
bring you to 1994. It was Peter Thomas did a show at the airline. I mean, at the downtown at the Bayfront Amphitheater. You performed like 4 o'clock on a Saturday. and it was like you was just kind of like you was rocking, but you wasn't like feeling it. And that was the time when like everybody was like, man, this bass is this ain't good. We got to start getting on some, you know, some back into that gangster stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I just remember you was up there, but you was like going through it. You wasn't really. It was like 94, 95 was like a real pivotal time for you in business.
Going through the motion. Was the Poison Clan with me?
Not everybody, no. Not everybody. Like Ram was there. Some people was there, but not all the old crew. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Mad Uzi and Ram.
Right. But I just know it was like a pivotal time for you at that time with the music scene, what was going on with Luke and everything. You know, it was just like that was like a real pivotal time for you. And I remember we was with Black. We went up to North Carolina to one of the conferences and everything. You know what I'm saying? Remember Black Power Entertainment?
Yeah. You
know what I'm saying? And I remember you came back with that song with the Sade beat.
Yeah, Ahead of My Time. See, that's on that 95. That's the 95 album. That's Zooism.
Yeah, right.
See, we wasn't with Luke then. Right. So that's when, right in the transition between Luke and going independent.
Right. You know, that was just like, I saw you like, you really grew from 94, 95, you grew, and the next thing I saw you, we was in New Orleans, and you introduced me to Soleil, and you did Who Dat.
Who Dat.
You know what I'm saying? And
wow.
then and that was like a whole nother thing. Like you went from. Go ahead.
Nah, I ain't mean to cut you off, but yeah, we're working on a documentary, man. So you got to tell some of them stories, man. To get my crew to come see you, because a lot of stuff I don't remember. Everybody got a story to tell. Like everybody got their own JT Money story. What my blessing is, what's good for me is, I always seem to keep a G in the story somewhere.
Right.
Like, yeah, I remember that time you was acting like a little fuck nigga, my nigga. You ain't. I ain't do that.
No, not at all.
Even chicks done told me, yeah, but you straight. I said, girl, you had to have said to me to make that. I wouldn't have just came out. I did that already. But anyway, that's all. I ain't mean to interrupt you though. But I'm working on the story.
Nah, that's it. I mean,
Lifetime movie.
You know, it's just a lot of good things, you know what I'm saying? You've always been able to treat me like, you know what I mean, I was family in the game, you know what I'm saying? And it just always was good as you transformed. Like I remember when you started working with Dallas Austin and Dallas Austin brother, they knew that I had a great relationship with you, so they called me and asked me to work the record. That was Something About Pimping, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
All those records right there. And that was when Who Dat actually was the #1 record of the year that year. You know what I'm saying? And I remember that was a big accomplishment for you.
Yeah, man. That was it. You know, like you know what I'm saying? I was hoping I could do that with Poison Clan, a group from Miami. Like my plans was never to just go solo until the whole group was able to, you know, how the Wu did their thing, how other groups they could peel off, but shit, like everybody walked away while we was trying to do it, you know. And it was all, you know, little misunderstandings, cats on their own thing. Everybody think ego. I call it pride and ego. That's all I can say with dude. Like, just say if a dude want to book us for a show. Now we Poison Clan. This about 94 to 95. You know, we barely getting us $3 grand, 3,500. You know, we split it with 6 dudes. You know, I had to start busting the money all the way down. You got to think, I started from paying niggas, you know, $150, $300 a night to just busting whatever money came in down the middle. So then, if we don't take a show, some nigga offering for 700, 800, I'm like, well, nigga, how you gonna get paid? If we do that show, how you expect to eat? You know, like, what the fuck is we doing? We not out here for, unless, then I start telling them, I'm paying you niggas and hoes. Y'all want hoes, we gonna get y'all hoes, man. And y'all just hold the money, and we gonna kill all you niggas hoes. Anyway, that got old. But you know, Who Dat, like if you listen to the first line of Who Dat, they tell niggas say, about time. I felt like we was overdue.
Right.
About time.
Right.
Yeah, see, people ain't catch that, but it was no, surprised me. I'm like, yeah, we here now. But I knew I had the major label back, and I had Dallas Capital Priority. I had them people to push the records, you know.
Yeah.
And not to say nothing about Luke. Luke did what he could do, what he did, but you know everything was about Luke himself. You know, they didn't know. JT Money's a funny artist. You know, this nigga gangster rapper, he booty shape. He make party music. What's up with this? What kind of dude? No, he 360. He's genuine.
That's it.
You know, he's 100%. You know, I'm gonna give you JT Money on whatever beat. You know, but I mean, it's just my thoughts on that. Don't let me trail out till you gotta stop me too.
Nah, because people want to hear that. Like that was like when we did the event at Vito's studio with you and RP Get Some Crew and everybody. Like that's why I told you just be natural, because that's what people want to see is your character. They want to hear from you because they never really got to hear from you about the business. You was just spitting that game, you know what I mean? But they never really heard how you really thought, what you really was thinking about, you know what I mean, during those times. So that's what we really want to hear, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Definitely.
Yeah, well, that was the thing, though. And like today, I feel like, come on, y'all get outside. I feel like I got my chance. Oh, let me show y'all something. Y'all see my little puppets.
Right.
Look, these faces too. But, yeah, today I think is, you know, the opportunity to just
Reinvent yourself.
do awesome things.
Right.
Yeah, reinvent, and you know, and now I really want brass young soldiers, and you know, bring them to the front. You know, have young soldiers. You know, I be telling dudes I don't plan on retiring. I plan on being like Frankie Belton in the maze of the Rolling Stones, but still, you know, this rap game, this real life, you gotta have some for. I can help some young dudes. So I ain't trying to just sign in. I'm trying to share the game, or if I can make me a doorway, you know, I'll be contributor to write a more. So I got to get into my marketing and promote. Wasn't all about you, all them key components and players that made the record hot. So you guys that part too. When you got to our first two albums, I didn't nobody all knew what people was around. I didn't them people got the record on, them people got those was on the street. I didn't know what they did. They were just, yeah, boy, yeah. And I'm, you know, we boys are clear, nigga, we shit. We ain't even had a clue, brother. And with that being said, the young dudes who the internet without with
Oh man, so we get some jewels.
then the same people who put you on ain't working with it no more. I mean, this thing business, man. And that's what I'm trying to share with these young dudes, man. You know, these relationships and just how you carry yourself, how you move out here, is how you move, like being prompt. You know, I think that's important. You got to set up things, and you got to be on time. You got to show up. You can't just fall in when you want to. You know, and you can't do it. You're gonna mess up your own business. It's like financial suicide, business suicide. You know, yeah, man. Next time you have a seminar talk, man, invite me back. Let's talk again, because this shit can go all day, bro. Excuse me, bro.
Man, we really appreciate you, my brother. Happy birthday, JT Money.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
Happy birthday, my brother.
When y'all come in town, boy, I got some.
bro, I already know.
My gardener. You see them palm trees back there? Yeah, my gardener.
We already know. We already know.
All right. Thank y'all, brothers, man. Bless you,
brother.
man.
God bless.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Love.
Great JT Money. You know, we got that new one, OG Perspective. I've been vibing it all day. You know, all day, bro. It's available on all platforms. Ask Mathis, man, and we out.
We out.
Now these niggas internet beef and stay hidden. They can't come up, too busy pocket watching. Too much flogging, too much jogging. Bitches don't care no more if a nigga real. All she wanna know is can that nigga pay a bill? Some shit I see I don't understand and can't call. Only thing I know how to be is a shit that's solid. The choice is yours, boss moves, I act a fool. Remember you responsible streets. Don't shit where you eatin', don't shit where you sleep, you dig? The choice is yours, boss moves like a fool. Remember, you responsible for what you do, G code is the code of the streets. Don't shit where you eatin', don't shit where you sleep, you dig?
So many things on my mind, I can't keep playing with time. It comes, it goes, and nobody knows. I can't get out of the game. A different day, the same thing. Now tell me who is to blame. Life decisions.
Shit don't stop, 24-hour grind. I ain't trying to catch time, I'm just out to get mine. So